It was just another boring Tuesday morning. I had my coffee in one hand, phone in the other, earbuds in, halfway through a call about our brand campaign. Same building, same lobby I walked through every day for the past 6 months. Nothing special. I was even a little late, so I skipped the crowd and headed for the side elevator, the one that gets me to the 15th floor faster. I swipe my keycard, step in, and boom. Before the doors even close, I hear a high-pitched, "Excuse me," that made me flinch like I'd broken something. I look back, and there she is, sitting at this ridiculous glitter-covered desk like she runs the CIA. Her eyes locked on me like I just walked off with company secrets. "That elevator is for approved staff only," she says, like I'm trying to break into a vault. I thought she was joking. I wasn't even trying to be sneaky. I work here. I had a badge. But in less than 30 seconds, she had security called down, and I was standing there like a criminal for pushing a button I've pushed 100 times before. She called herself the Tenant Access Liaison. But really, she was just the person who sat at the front desk and made everything harder than it needed to be. Her setup looked like a craft store exploded. Glittery pens, fake flowers, a sign that said, "Respect the rules" in Comic Sans, and a nameplate that said K. Thomas, Compliance Monitor, whatever that meant. She wore these oversized rhinestone glasses and a blazer that squeaked when she moved, the kind of person who probably writes people up for fun. That morning, she had just taped up a new sign near the side elevator. "Executive use only, do not enter without clearance." Like, who was even checking? Apparently, she was. The moment she saw me walking toward it, she stood up like I triggered a silent alarm. "Sir, that elevator is not for general use. You need level 5 access," she snapped, like I was hacking into the Pentagon. It wasn't a real rule. No one had ever said anything before. But she acted like I'd just crossed a line that only she could see, and she wasn't about to let it go. At first, I thought I could just wave it off. I pulled out one earbud, told her, "Hey, I work on the 15th floor, just running late. Won't happen again." I even smiled, trying to keep it light. But her face didn't change. If anything, she looked more excited, like this was her big moment. "That elevator is not for you," she said, louder this time, making sure everyone in the lobby could hear. Before I could respond, she reached for her desk phone and started dialing. "Security, we have a violation," she said, like I'd just shoplifted a TV. I was standing there stunned, coffee in one hand, still on my call with the other. Within minutes, 2 security guys walked in like they were on a mission. One of them was Greg, a decent guy who looked way more tired than surprised. He asked for my badge in front of everyone. People were staring. Co-workers I see every day. I wasn't yelling, I wasn't doing anything wrong, and suddenly I felt like I had to prove I belonged in the building I've worked at for 6 months. It was embarrassing. I felt small. Later that day, I got a message from HR asking me to come in for a quick talk. I already knew it wasn't going to be quick. The second I sat down, I could tell something was off. The HR manager had this calm, fake-friendly tone, like she was trying to keep things polite while reading straight off a script. She said there had been a complaint about my behavior in the lobby. I asked what behavior. She pulled out a printed report, Karen's report. According to her, I'd ignored clear instructions, acted aggressively, and made her feel unsafe. Unsafe. All because I used the elevator and didn't kiss the ring. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I told them the truth, but it didn't matter. HR said they were taking the complaint seriously for liability reasons and that I'd be suspended for a week, no pay, while they reviewed the incident. I walked out of that office numb. One made-up story, and suddenly I'm a problem employee. Just like that, everything I'd worked for was at risk. The next day, everything felt different. People who used to say hi suddenly looked the other way. In the break room, conversation stopped when I walked in. I caught someone from finance whispering to another guy, both glancing over at me like I had some kind of disease. Nobody asked what happened. They already decided they knew. Someone even told Diana, quietly, that I'd snapped on the front desk lady and had to be removed by security. That was the version going around now. Not what actually happened, just Karen's twisted version. The worst part was how fast everyone bought it. No one asked my side. No one stood up for me. I wasn't suspended. I was erased. Walking into the office felt like walking into a courtroom where the verdict was already in. After a while, I even started wondering, did I do something wrong? Maybe I should have just taken the other elevator. Maybe this was my fault. I was sitting in my car after work, just staring at the steering wheel, when I got a text from Diana. She works in design and has always been chill with me. "You okay?" she asked. I didn't even know how to answer. She ended up meeting me at a coffee shop that evening, and right away she said, "You're not crazy. She's done this before." I looked at her like she just dropped a bomb. Turns out Karen's been pulling power moves like this for months, bossing people around, making up rules, filing complaints that go nowhere but still cause trouble. One guy got written up over a parking space. Another had to move desks because she claimed his chair blocked visibility. Diana said most people just try to stay off her radar, but after what happened to me, she'd had enough. "If you want to fight this," she said, "I'll help you." For the first time all week, I didn't feel completely alone. A couple of days into my suspension, Diana called me, her voice low like she was hiding in a closet. "You're gonna want to see this," she said. She'd managed to get into one of Karen's little security awareness meetings, where Karen was using me as an example of escalating threats in the workplace. She had a full slideshow, charts, and even lobby camera footage showing me lurking near her desk. Only something felt off. Diana noticed the timestamp on the video didn't match the date of our elevator argument. Not even close. In fact, in the footage, I was wearing a totally different outfit, something I wore weeks ago. She sent me the clip, and it hit me like a truck. Karen had pieced together old clips of me standing around, checking my phone, or waiting for meetings, and made it look like I was stalking her. It was edited like a low-budget spy movie. That's when I knew. This wasn't just a misunderstanding. She wanted to ruin me, and she'd faked the whole story to do it. But now I had a chance to fight back. All we needed was the original footage. Diana found out that Karen was hosting another security training the following Monday, this time with senior management in the room, including people from HR and building operations. It was her big moment to show off her fake threat case, and we realized it could be our shot to flip everything. The plan was simple but risky. We'd get access to the projector during the Q&A, and I'd show the real footage side by side with her edited clips. Diana had a copy of the original security files from Greg, the head of building security, who was starting to doubt Karen, too. I stayed up all weekend putting together a clean, clear presentation. Timestamps, screenshots, side-by-sides. It had to be airtight. One slip, and they'd think I was just trying to cover my own mess. I wasn't even allowed in the building because of the suspension, but Diana told HR we had new information that might impact the investigation. If this worked, Karen was going down. If not, I'd probably be out of a job for good. Either way, I wasn't going to let her lie win without a fight. The room was packed. HR, 2 company VPs, the building director, even a couple of lawyers. Karen was already in the middle of her presentation when I slipped in with Diana. She had her voice turned up to full professional victim, walking everyone through her version of the incident. Charts, graphs, and of course the same chopped-up video clips showing me loitering and acting suspicious. People were nodding, taking notes. I waited until the end, Then Diana stood up and said, "Actually, there's some footage we think the team should see before any conclusions are made." That's when I stepped up, plugged in my laptop, and played the real footage. Side by side. Her version on the left, the original on the right. The difference was instant. My clothes didn't match. The lighting was different. Timestamps were weeks apart. You could hear a pin drop. Then came the final slide, Karen's access log, showing every time she pulled clips from different days and saved them to the same folder. I looked over at her. Her face went pale. "This is fake," she stuttered. "He's editing this." But no one was buying it. The silence had turned on her. Everyone saw the lie. And they saw who built it. Karen completely lost it. She started pointing at me, then at Diana, then at Greg, accusing all of us of setting her up. "This is a coordinated attack," she shouted. "You're all in on it." Her voice cracked. No one said a word. Everyone just watched her unravel. HR told her to stop talking. One of the VPs stood up and said, "Effective immediately, your access is revoked." The building director added that she was being removed from the tenant oversight committee and that they'd be launching a full investigation into her behavior. Karen stood there frozen, then stormed out, grabbing her laptop and files like the building was on fire. The same people who once nodded along with her were now whispering to each other in disbelief. She came in thinking she'd be the hero of the meeting. Instead, she got shut down in front of everyone. It was like watching a bad movie finally end, with the villain walking out while the credits start rolling. Things changed fast after that meeting. HR officially cleared my record and apologized in writing. They offered me the promotion I'd been in line for before all this mess started, plus a bonus for the inconvenience, as they called it. But honestly, the best part was walking through that lobby without feeling like I had to look over my shoulder. Karen's desk? Empty. Her glitter signs? Gone. The weird tension that used to hang in the air every morning had disappeared. People actually smiled again. No more silent stares. No more fake rules. It felt like the office had been reset, like we all got to breathe again. Karen? She was gone for good. No emails, no surprise comebacks, just silence. And that was exactly how we liked it. If there's one thing I learned, it's that people like Karen only get away with stuff because everyone's too tired or scared to call them out. She built her power on silence. But once we pushed back, the whole thing collapsed. It wasn't easy. It was stressful, and yeah, I almost lost everything. But in the end, truth beat fake power. If you've ever had to deal with someone like this, someone who makes up rules just to feel important, drop your story in the comments. I want to hear how you handled it. And just remember, the only thing worse than getting suspended at work is getting suspended by someone who thinks glitter pens and Comic Sans are part of a personality.